Hello.
Welcome back. We're here for another episode of Boss Up and Tea, and I feel like it's been forever. Like, I know I recorded with Joanna, but we took off last week because I wasn't able to record.
Yeah.
And you weren't here, obviously, when Joanna was here. So I feel like it's been a minute. We've got a lot to catch up
So
on.
I was listening to the episode that y'all recorded, and I was like, oh, I wish I could have been there. I had so much. I was talking to y'all as I was listening. I was like, wait, and then like to myself, nobody can hear me. But I was like, dang, that was a good episode.
It really was. Joanna's, she was a blast to record with, honestly. And she was so nervous. She was like, she texted me on her way here and she was like, hey, I'm going to stop and get me a tall boy. Do you want anything? I was like, well, I don't drink beer. I was like, but if they have a buzz ball, I'll take a buzz ball. And so she brought me a couple of buzz balls. So it was relaxing. It was cool.
A vibe.
Yeah, it was a vibe. She was cool and she wants to come back. I was like, maybe you can come back when Tina's here too, so we can all three just
shoot I'm down because I haven't met her. I was like, what am I saying? I haven't met her, but just listening to it, she sounded like a vibe.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to join into that conversation, so I'm a little jelly because I really wanted to join in. I had so much to say, too.
Yeah, she's really cool. I enjoyed having her. And I mean, I've only talked to her through social media, through Facebook and TikTok, and then we exchange numbers and, we text here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So meeting her in person was like, I was like, okay, the vibe continued. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was
matched.
Like, yeah, it matched. It definitely did. Look, aren't you proud of me? I still have all my nails.
Let me touch them.
Yeah, don't give them all.
I know. I love them. They're so cute.
They are. I love them. Love them. And so, guys, I texted Tina and Brittany the other day, and I was like, I got good news and I got bad news. And Tina was like, she said she kind of already knew what I was going to say. The bad news is I'm not going to be able to keep this length and my crazy nails. And it may just be temporary, but the good news is I got a new job.
Yes. Congrats.
Thank you. I start on the 21st. And until I kind of get the feeling of things.
Right. Get the ball rolling.
Yeah. But for now, I'm going to have to tone it down. The length, the craziness on my nails, be a little bit more professional because I don't know what all this job is going to entail. I might be going to conferences. I might be networking a little bit more with, peers and stuff that I don't normally do.
Yeah.
And this is just a bit much for the professional world, for the corporate world. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I love them. At first, when Joanna came, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this length. Like it was, but now it's like,
I've gotten used to it.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel like I've always had my nails this long.
Mm-hmm.
And
how many times have you stabbed everybody?
I haven't actually.
No way.
I stabbed people more with the red stilettos that I had than I had with these.
That's crazy. You would think because you have so much more length that you're stabbing people.
Yeah, no.
And that sounds really bad. But
but no, I haven't. And that I've got still all the gems on there and everything. Like everything's still fully intact.
For my people on TikTok, look at her nails. Aren't they just so cute?
Yes.
I love them.
Yes.
I love them.
My claws.
My claws.
Yeah, and they have the year I was born, 82.
Yes. She did her thing.
She really did. Brittany, girl.
Like you never disappoint us.
Never.
So how was your birthday?
It was good. Wednesday night, my actual birthday, we just kind of did a family thing. We went to Rocket Cafe, which they've got really good home style food.
Yeah.
Love Rocket Cafe. The food there is bomb. Gary, you're the bomb. Mm-hmm. I love Gary. He works there. He buys tamales for me, and so do the people that work there. But Gary's such a good person. I love Gary to death. And then the weekend after, we went to Wicked Butcher. Great steakhouse.
Really?
Really good. Had some really bomb food. And then we went to some bars and stuff. And yeah, we had a really good time. Yeah. And it was funny. It was so funny because the first bar we went to, just drinking, chilling, and in come these two guys, and the guy was like, "Is this your first date?" Or because Paul had gone to the bathroom at the time,
okay.
and he was like, "Is this your first date?" And I was like, "Boy, no." I was like,
why though?
I don't know.
Like, what gave off that vibe?
I have no idea.
Well, you're acting nervous.
No, not even. Not at that point. I had already had, because at the restaurant they gave you walk in and like, "Oh, do you want some champagne?" I was like, "Yeah." Paul doesn't like champagne, but I was like, he wants some too because I'll take his.
Yeah.
And so I was already not buzzed, but I mean, I was feeling good. Yeah. And then we had obviously some drinks at the restaurant, and so by the time we got to the bar, I was feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
And but anyway, so the guy, I was like, no, we're out for my birthday, da 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 da, and he was like, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Let's get her a shot. Let's get them some shots." And so they bought us a round of shots, some Mexican candy shots, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were pretty cool. And then the guys were like, "Oh, we've been drinking since noon," and yes.
Like,
yes, this is like full 12 hours of drinking by this
point.
But he was like, "But we've also been doing a little
extracurricular activities,
little Ash Trevino, y'all know what I mean." And I was like, "Oh, okay, we're just letting all our information out. Yeah,
telling me all your business. How do you know I'm not an undercover? Or you don't know what I do for a living?"
No, he was like, "Yeah, we've been." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm chit chatting with him. You're the same way though. You chit chat with anybody you meet. Yeah. And Paul's so not like that. He was just kind of like,
but he was having a conversation now.
But he was talking to them as well.
Yeah.
And but they ended up leaving. They weren't there for very long at all. And they left. They got 2 beers and then had like this much gone from the beer. And I'm like, y'all just drank a sip and left?
So y'all really haven't been drinking, because if that's what y'all been doing at every bar.
True.
Or maybe they were just already at their like, okay.
Yeah, possibly.
Slowing down.
Possibly. And then they jetted, and so then we went walking, and it started raining, so we just kind of went into whatever bar we could find.
Yeah.
We went in there, and this chick follows us in there, and she's got a suitcase, right? And she comes in.
Suitcase.
She's got a suitcase. And Paul goes to the bar. He's like, "I'm gonna go get some drinks." And I was like, "All right, cool." And so then I don't know how, but me and her started chit chatting, and she starts telling me that she had caught a flight, it got delayed, and then it caused her to be late for the other plane, and then the other plane wasn't going to come until like the next morning. And so then she was like, well, for some reason she was like, her family was like, just take the bus. And so I don't know if you've ever been to the Greyhound station downtown.
Yes.
It's bad.
I thought they closed it.
No.
Where did I hear that they were closing the Greyhound or something?
I don't know.
They were getting rid of it. They were going to close it down, or... Yeah, I swear I heard that, like, within the last year.
Oh, well, then maybe Paul was right. Because, so, she says that she's going to catch the bus, but they won't let her in until 2 hours before her bus leaves. And so, she said that, it was like at 3, she said it was like at 3 or 4 or something like that. So she basically, she had an hour to kill before she could get into the the bus station.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Well, and she was like, but honestly," she goes, "I'm just chilling, she goes, "I'll just hang out here until." I was like, "Well, do you want anything to drink?" I said, "He's already at the bar." And she goes, "I don't want any out." She goes, "Just some cranberry juice." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I go and tell Paul, and he was like, "Okay." And I know he was thinking, this crazy lady over here making friends with everybody she freaking meets. And so then we're talking and whatnot. And, so then we had to get high because we Ubered downtown. So then,
wait, so you don't know what she had in her suitcase?
Clothes. I'm assuming she was trying to get home. She was telling us that she was trying to get to Mississippi where her kids were at.
I was just scared. Like, what the hell you got in your suitcase?
I mean, clothes. She was traveling, so I'm assuming clothes.
But okay, hold on, pause right there. I would not take the bus. I'd be like, I'm gonna sleep at the airport.
Me neither.
Something.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna take the bus. I'll catch another flight. Like, I'll figure it out, but I'm not taking the bus. Like, you can't convince me to take the bus.
So Heidi comes and picks us up, whatnot, and I'm by this time I'm already like tipsy, you know, and
Yeah.
everything. And I fall asleep on the way home, and we get to the house, and Paul's talking about this girl over here making friends with Gypsy Rose, and I was like,
Not Gypsy Rose,
because her name was Rose.
Oh my god!
And so, and I was like, he was like, she was homeless, dude, and I was like, why do you say she was homeless? He goes, she had a suitcase, and I was like, yeah, because she was traveling. He goes, really, you're gonna fall for that? He goes, how do you know she wasn't like trying to like mark us for like guys or something? And I was like,
that's
you.
True.
I was like, you're just being so negative. I'm over here looking like the glass is half full, and he's looking at it as the glass is half empty.
He's looking like you almost got us kidnapped.
Yeah, yes. And I was like, first of all, ain't nobody gonna kidnap you. Second of all, if they kidnap me, they're gonna return me right back because I just talked too much.
Like, you know what? Never mind. We'll go for someone else.
So that was our. We had fun. It was fun. So
good.
Yeah, it was a good birthday for sure.
Good. I'm glad. We went last night. We went to STK.
Happy anniversary, by the way.
Thank you.
Saw that. I saw your hubby's post, and I was like, oh my
god. It was actually, I've never been.
I've never been there either.
I've heard about it.
Was it downtown?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually really, really good. So the steak was so soft. Like, I'm always like, my dad has set my expectations for steak like here, and nobody can ever reach what my dad does, like ever. Like,
yeah,
I've had good steaks. I'm not gonna say I haven't had any good steaks, but they're never like up here. That steak was so freaking soft. Like, my mouth is watering.
She's over here,
like my mouth is watering. But it was so soft and so good. The atmosphere was good. Our server, she was really nice. I felt like not fancy enough because she was like, would y'all like some water to start? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, tap water, bottled water, or sparkling water. And I was like, tap water is fine. Okay. So she came and brought it. And I like my water ice cold, like ice cold.
See, I'm okay with room temperature.
I'm not. It just, something in my brain triggers me and says it's dirty when it's hot.
It's dirty when it's hot?
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just a mind thing. Like,
okay.
I have to have ice cold water. This water was warm. It wasn't room temperature. It was warm. I grabbed it and it touched my lips and I was like, I don't want this. And then the table next to us, they got bottled water and I seen it was Fiji water. And I was like, I want bottled water. I was like, it's tap water supposed to ice? Well, I didn't know. I was like, I don't want to ask for ice. And she'd be like, ma'am, tap water is supposed to be this type of temperature.
Not you.
I was like, I just want bottled water. And then she brought it and like, I was knocking it back. Like, that water was so good and so cold. I was like, I'm so thirsty. I just want some water.
That's funny.
But it was really good. And then they bring you some, what they call their pull apart bread, with some chive oil. And that was really good. We got some calamari. The calamari was really good. For the sides, we got mac and cheese and creamed spinach. That was really good. They were really big servings.
Yeah, those places are usually like they're shareable sides.
So it was actually really good, really good vibe. It actually got crowded once we were leaving because when we got there, our reservation was for 6:30, so it wasn't full. Like, I mean, there was people there, but once we left, it started getting busy. But it was a good vibe. I'm going to do a whole TikTok video. I'll take pictures and videos. You know, I was like, wait. I got to get this for my TikTok. Hold on, wait.
I know. I was going to do the same thing when we went to Wicked Butcher, but then I was like, no, it's my birthday. Like, I just want to
chill.
I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a video, but it was really good. And then after that, we just went to Top Golf. I've never been to Top Golf. So I was like, I want to do that. Because he was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. I don't want to. Because he was like, you want to go to a bar? I was like, not really. Like, I want to do something different. And I've never been to Top Golf, and I've always talked about going. So we went. We had a good time.
You know what I want to do? I want to do axe throwing. I've never been.
I want to do that too. I didn't think about that. We need to go
together.
I'm like,
that would be fun.
Yeah,
we need to do that. We need to do like.
Have you been to Top Golf before?
A long time ago. Okay. Like it's been a minute.
Yeah. Well, we had fun. I'd go again. I'd take all my kids. Took me about like 10 swings to learn how to actually hit the ball, but it's fine.
It's not like putt-putt?
No, you have to like put some strength in it and get it out there. It's not like you can't just, no.
I don't know.
You gotta act like you're Tiger Woods and hit it.
So act like you're mad at somebody and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotcha.
Put some strength up in there so it can go. I was like, because I kept hitting it, and I was like, I just want it, because it would go and it would start bouncing. I was like, I just want some air time. I just want to see it go. Whoo, when
And I
finally
just go.
did it- yeah. And when I finally did, I was like, I did it. We had a good time though. It was fun. And I'm old because I was like, man, I'm tired. Like I was just tired, and I mean, we drank, but we didn't get wasted or
Yeah.
anything. And I told him I woke up like at 4:00 in the morning because I had to use the restroom, and I woke up so confused because I didn't remember falling asleep. I remember getting in bed.
But you weren't drunk?
No, like I remember getting in bed and I'm laying there, we're talking, and I was just like, I'm so tired, and that's the last thing I remember saying. And then when I woke up to use the restroom, like the whole room was dark. I was like, dang, when did I fall asleep?
That's funny.
That's how tired I was. I
That's
was so
funny.
tired. I was like, I'm so sorry. I kept telling him, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm tired. He's like, it's okay. I said, this isn't going to be one of those we stay up to 5 a.m. nights drinking. And I was like, I'm tired. I got in bed and
Sometimes, but you know what? Sometimes, especially after like a meal like that,
Mhm.
a heavy meal, because
Yeah.
steak is heavy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just like, I'm just tired. Like I'm just full. Like because we've done that too. We've gone out for a good dinner, and then it's just like, do you want to go to the bar? No, not really.
Yeah. And I
like-
was full, but I wasn't stuffed where I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I could have if I would have ate all them sides, but I mean, I was good. It was good.
Your hubby said he's like Tiger Woods.
First of all, okay, hold on. He kept hitting the damn like ground, right? He was missing them because we had to both.
So you're
learn.
not like Tiger Woods.
But wait, hold on. And so I'm laughing at him because he's missing and everything. I bring out my phone. I was like, I'm gonna record you. And as soon as I hit record, bing, he hit it.
Of course.
I was like,
of course.
Really? I said, okay, Tiger Woods. Like,
of course.
it was a good hit. I was like, wow. I was like, I'm not even gonna upload it because that was not the point of my video. You were supposed to swing and miss like you've been doing. I was like, that's what I got to do to make you hit it right. I was like, I got to be like, oh, I'm gonna record you.
Yeah. Look, today, Gordo's got a soccer game at 3:00.
It's so freaking cold.
I know. I'm not looking forward to it, but I texted Tina last night and I was like, hey, can we do like 12:30 instead of our normal 1:00 because Gordo's got a game. It just gives me a little bit of extra time, a little cushion time in case we go over or whatnot.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, cool, we'll do 12:30. So slept in a little bit because we're up late watching movies and stuff. And then by the time we have breakfast, and then we're like, oh, we got to watch our 1923 episode, right?
Yeah.
Not knowing it's the season finale and the bitch is like 2 hours long. And so then I'm like I kept looking at the time. I was like, okay, Tina's supposed to be here at 12:30. Just trying to plan it out. And I was like, okay, we're not going to finish this episode. Like it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so like right in the middle, like it was a good stopping point. I was like, okay, pause. Everybody's like, I was like, I had to go get in the shower. And cause Tina's supposed to be here at 12:30. So I go hop in the shower. And then this bitch texts me talking about I'm on my way. As I'm getting out of the shower, I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Let me, so no makeup, hair's pulled back. It's still wet, guys. Like I literally got out of the shower like right before she got here.
It's because we missed last week, and I was like, I got so much to talk about. Like, we can't cut this episode short. We can't cut it short. So I was like, I'm gonna be on time.
And then I was
early.
I was gonna tell you, give me 10 minutes. But I was like, no. I can do this real quick while she's trying to get here. I can get dressed. Pull my hair back,
See, and I also took my time. Like when I text you, I was barely walking to my car, and then I was like, you know what? Because usually I'm like pedal to the metal, trying to get here, but I took my time getting here.
I'm glad. Good. It gave me that time to kind of.
And if you would have told me to give you time, I would have just sat outside in my car and be like, tell me when you're ready for me.
I just told Heidi, I was like, just let her in when she gets here. If I'm not, she was like, okay, I got you. All right. So you said I told Tina, I was like, I really don't have like, not that I don't have anything to talk. Like if you give me a subject,
let me check my list.
Then I will, have. But she was like, I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to talk about. I was like, okay, good. You bring the topics.
Why is it not even? Wow. Is it okay?
Look at her not prepared.
What's my phone? Okay. I already asked you about how your birthday was. Let's
Yes.
talk about Yolanda.
Oh yeah.
Her parole getting denied.
I feel like I knew it was gonna get denied. There was just too many. Like she's safer. It's crazy. She's safer in prison than she
I
would
agree.
be out here.
I agree. Whatever excuse that they gave her why they denied her parole, I feel like that they made that shit up to protect her because they knew the citizens of Texas, not just Corpus or San Antonio, the citizens of Texas
She wouldn't have been safe.
were
anywhere.
coming for her.
Yeah.
And I think that they made up whatever could pass legally to deny her parole because they knew she wasn't safe. So I'm like, they did it for her sake.
She will spend the rest of her days in prison.
I believe so too. And if she doesn't, they're gonna have to like really put her in hiding, change her identity. Like she's just not safe.
I think what hurt her was her doing that whole documentary.
Yes.
Her family coming out and da-da-da-da-da, you know, her trying to get in the spotlight. It was almost like she was trying to do kind of like Gypsy Rose, like get in the spotlight so that when she comes out, like she can have this whole...
She has a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To make money, to monetize off
And
of.
I think it kind of backfired on her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she might have made some money. I'm sure she did make money off of the documentary, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like it didn't have the same effect for her like Gypsy did.
Yeah.
And people are, I mean, even 30 years after Selena's passing, I feel like people are, it's still fresh. Like people have not forgotten
that, and we do not forgive you. Like,
yeah,
we don't forgive you.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like Gypsy's story is different though. Like, I don't know. I'm not defending Gypsy because y'all already know how I feel.
I think she's losing her.
But she never denied the involvement. She never said, "Oh, it wasn't me. I wasn't there." She's never full out admitted, you know, like, but I don't know. I just feel like Yolanda was like 100, trying to claim 100% innocence. You know what I'm saying? And flip it back on Selena's family instead of taking some type of ownership. I know Gypsy didn't take 100% ownership either, but it's just two different things. So if that's what she was basing it off, well, Gypsy offed her mom, and I can, if she got away with that, I can get no. It's too different. Like,
yeah,
no, you won't be safe out here. Sorry, she won't. I mean, and people are willing to go to jail over Selena. Like, they don't care. They may catch a case and get time, but people don't care. They're gonna be in there, but like, yeah, I did this to Yolanda for
you
Selena.
know why though? Because the person that, if a person was to take out Yolanda, do you know how much support that person would get?
Exactly. Even if they didn't take her out, even if they just beat her ass. Like,
I'm not encouraging it by any means.
No.
But if that was to happen, people aren't going to hit there and be like, you finally took out the person that everybody's been wanting for them to be gone. You know, so I don't feel like anybody, now a court system obviously isn't going to see it that way. Like they're going to do time.
Right.
But there would be people putting money on their books.
Writing them, like they'll have it made.
They would get the fame.
Yeah.
They would get the fame.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not encouraging it by any means. By any means. But that's what would happen. That's what would happen.
So
100%.
Yay for that. That's what you get. You thought you were going to get out and you're not. Haha. Stay in there.
Yeah. Rot in prison. It's not even jail. It's prison. Rot in prison. Yeah. She's getting what she deserves, honestly.
So. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, I am obviously in like a bunch of different groups on Facebook. I'm in this one podcast group that I listen to. And it's just a group like people that listen to the podcast and then they come and they talk about, oh, did y'all hear today's episode, blah blah, right? So one of them was, somebody had made a post. It was a simple post, and this group is like 98% women, okay? If not almost 100. Anyways, they were talking about how one of the hosts of the podcast said she was a minimalist, but she uses paper plates. And so her post was something like, I listened to today's episode. I love you, girl, but how are you going to say you're a minimalist, but you use paper plates, blah, blah. And she's like, whatever. But she made it good. Like, I'm not coming for you. I'm not talking shit. Like, she's like, that doesn't go hand in hand, but love you. The comments went off. There were probably like 300 comments on this. People going back and forth about paper plates versus real plates, right? It was just a simple post. Like, people were arguing. People were calling other people lazy. Like, I have made a comment on there. I said, I got too many damn kids to not use paper plates. Then people started commenting under my comments saying, you're just lazy. Why don't you teach your kids how to wash dishes? You can
calling you lazy?
Yeah. Because I said I got too many kids to not be using paper plates. Shit, I don't want to be fucking washing dishes. And then they're like, why don't you put it in the dishwasher? I was like, well, first of all, I'm Mexican and we don't use dishwashers all the time. I was like, I've used it, but most of the time my dishwasher is for storage. I was like, just like our ovens are for storage, the dishwasher's for storage. And I was like, and I prefer to wash dishes by hand. And then they're like, well, you're just lazy. I said, well, then bitch, call me the fucking lazy queen if that's what it is for using paper plates.
And then, my God, over paper plates, people?
And then I said, and then they said something else, and I was like, I said, this is wild over some paper plates. I was like, this is supposed to be a group where we're basically all women supporting each other. And I was like, if y'all are going this deep over some fucking paper plates, I was like, that's crazy. I was like, I don't have to explain myself to nobody. I was like, but that's crazy.
Not them judging you for using paper.
Yeah, so I'm lazy because I use paper plates.
I use paper plates. So my dishwasher is used as a drying rack. We wash by hand and then stick in the dishwasher so they can air dry.
Yeah.
And then we put them up. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's like storage, I guess. I don't know. But on occasion, we will run it. Like if we've got a bunch of them, we'll run it just because they say you're supposed to run it every so often, just so, you know. But I don't use it every day.
I used to never use my dishwasher. Honestly, when the boys were younger, that's where I would hide the snacks because I knew they weren't going to look in there because I never used the dishwasher. So there was no reason for them to open it to be like, oh, is there a cup in here or a plate in here? I used to use it. And then, like you said, you have to run it so it doesn't get all backed up or whatever. But then, I mean, when I moved to the other house, I did use it, but once every few months would I use my dishwasher. It was used, like you said, for everything else. So yeah, it was just crazy. Them tell me, well, use your dishwasher. But doesn't dishwasher use a lot more water? Like it was just crazy. Because I remember one time we had I don't know, I think a birthday party or something, and we were hanging out in the kitchen, and one of my friends, she accidentally leaned against the dishwasher and it turned on. She was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I don't ever use it anyway, so there's nothing in there. I'm like, just turn it off. Yeah. But yeah, so
I use paper plates because my kids, especially like for lunchtime, they'll go in there and instead of like asking me, they'll just be like, I'm just gonna make me a sandwich. Like my kids are enough, they'll go make themselves a sandwich. They'll grab a paper plate, make a peanut butter sandwich or a bologna sandwich, whatever, and then they can throw away their plate.
We have real plates. Don't get me wrong. Like we use them for certain dinners. Like, for example, if I make steaks, we're using real plates because ain't no way I'm gonna serve a steak on a paper plate. Like, but it's just like most of the time we're using paper plates. If I could use paper pots and pans, I would. I hate dishes. I hate dishes. I hate them.
If I cook, my sister cleans. That's usually how we do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's times where I'll get in there. Like, I don't like dishes either, but I'll get in there. Like, I don't like to see dishes in my sink either, though. So if I see dishes, I'm gonna go and do them.
I mean, of course, like I'll do them, but I'm gonna do it and be mad about it. Like, oh, I fucking hate dishes. Yeah, I hate dishes. I don't know what it is. I mean, that's not saying I don't do dishes. I do them.
I hate dusting.
Like,
dusting is my I'm just like, where's all this freaking dust come from? Oh, it's so annoying.
And the last comment I said of the person that called me lazy, I was like, I said, let's do this. I said, since you love washing dishes so much, I said, how about I cook for you and you can wash all my dishes? I was like, okay, my love.
That was her way of saying, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Oh, I'm like, why are we arguing over paper plates? It's stupid. Okay, if you don't believe in using them, that's you, but goddamn. And then sit there and be like, you don't teach your kids how to wash dishes. That's not the point. Like, that's not the point. That's not the point.
No, it's really not. That's crazy though.
Mhm.
That honestly, that's
And
really
there was
crazy.
only a handful of us that were like, are we really arguing over paper plates versus real plates? Like, it's crazy.
So speaking of Facebook groups, I know I said I didn't have, but you had brought it up before that you wanted to talk about this on the podcast. And
oh yes,
and I don't know if you and I are gonna see eye to eye on this. We might have our first disagreement, we might not, I don't know. But so recently, one of the Facebook groups that both Tina and I are in, because it's a local one, within our community, posted that there was a male teacher at our high school that was hired as a male, full beard and all, and during winter break, well, after winter break, he came back dressed as a female.
It made it to the news too.
Yeah, it's on the news. It's all over. Well, I see it on my TikTok. So, and there was it's either you're with him or you're against him, and there's been so much controversy with this. Crazy. My feeling is I do not have one, like, I don't care what you do on your time. I don't care what you do on your time. You want to go out and dress as a woman, so be it. Like, I'm very, like, I have family members that are in the LGBTQ community. I don't see anything like that's you. That's what you want to do. You're not pushing it off on me. You're not trying to get me to convert my ways, whatever. Right. When you're in a position or in a job like that, I don't feel it's right. I feel like he was hired as a man. He should continue teaching as a man. I feel like him dressing as a woman is a distraction for kids, and it shouldn't be in the school. That's my opinion.
Why is it a distraction? Okay. Why is not a woman teacher a distraction?
Well, I was gonna say that. What if a woman teacher is in school, goes to school dressed with her boobs out, her ass hanging out, stomach showing, very provocative?
Yeah.
Is a school going to let her dress that way? No.
Right.
Why? Because it's a distraction for the kids.
Right.
Same thing. No. It's the same thing. It's a distraction for the kids.
I don't agree.
See? I knew we were going to disagree on this. I knew we were going to disagree.
But listen, this is why. I do think that he should have done it differently. I do think he should have gone about it differently. I don't think he should have done it in the middle of the school year. I think that if that's what you want to do, finish out your school year, then the next year that you come, you started off as a woman. That's what you want to do. That's fine. Another reason is he never pushed it on any of the students, and that was backed by the students. The students said that he said too, if they wanted to call him Mr. instead of Miss or Mrs., whatever, that was fine. He never pushed talking about being a trans. He focused on his job.
But he did talk about it in school.
Yeah, but he never pushed it. And on top of that, I think with the world that we're in, seeing someone higher give someone else, another student that's having an identity crisis, like, more comfort. Like, it's
and okay. I agree with that. I agree that there are students out there who need a role model or a mentor. And maybe, like you said, maybe he should have done it in a different way.
Yeah.
This is my thing. With this individual, he is not in the mental state he should be to be doing this, though.
Why?
Because he himself has admitted he is bipolar. He tried to unalive himself.
Yeah.
he is, and it's still too
But-
fresh.
But even if he
needs to get help
stayed
himself.
as a man, and he never, and let's just say he did it like that, right? He would, when he would go home, he would cross dress or whatever you want to call it. Let's just say that's what he did at home, never brought it to school. Then would it have been a problem? He's still suffering mentally, but now nobody knows because he's doing it in a secret, and that's what makes people off themselves because they feel like they have to hide it.
Okay, well then he should have done it in a better way. The
Yeah.
way he did it,
And
he should have, because of his role, and I think that's what. Did the school do their things in the right way?
So,
Probably not either.
It wasn't the school that pushed him to resign. I have a screenshot, but every time I get out of my TikTok, it messes it up. Not the mayor. It was someone from the state that told Red Oak that they needed to fire him, let him go, or something. But it was someone from the state that was like, no, this person needs to get out of the schools, and that's why he resigned. But I was gonna say, it's hard. Everybody has said he was a good teacher, and it's hard to find good teachers, especially with these disrespectful ass kids. Like and I have a friend whose daughter is a senior in the high school, and that was her teacher sophomore year, and she said that was one of her best teachers ever, and all his students have said that.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing anything about him, not knowing students praise him, not knowing anything about this man, you see him out in public.
Mm-hmm.
You have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Would you allow your daughter to be in the bathroom at the same time as this man using the women's bathroom?
It depends on the age.
Let's say
she's 2.
Let's say she's 6.
No,
and
I don't even let Dalen go into the bathroom by himself.
Okay, what age would you let them go by themselves? 10.
That's hard.
I know each kid is different.
I know. After 10 for sure.
And you would feel safe with them being alone in the bathroom with them.
Yeah.
You would?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
I would because
I wouldn't because
is he a man? Yes, but I feel like he's a human, right?
I get that, but I'm
not saying that there's nothing that he won't ever, like those trans people won't ever, or they could never commit any crime. But I feel like these people, gay people are the happiest people I've ever met. I love gay people, right?
I love the guys that we met at the bar. One of them was gay. The one that was like talking to me, he was gay.
I just feel like they're so more in tune with themselves. They're happy. Not like I said, not saying that they won't ever commit a crime. They can never, and they would never do anything wrong, because that's you can't say that. But I just would have to put my trust in God. Like you're a woman. You're a man, but you see yourself as a woman. That's just like allowing her to go in there with another woman. Another woman could do something to
and
my
I understand
daughter.
He's in the process of, like, he's taking the hormones and all that, and he's going through the process. Great. I'm happy for him. That's what. So, but I just feel like it should have been done differently. Yeah. It should have been done differently.
I agree on that. I do agree on that. It should have been done differently. But let's say this. Compare it to religion. If there's a great teacher who is Muslim and they come in with the turban and they have to do that, are they going to fire them too because it's a distraction because we're in America? Would that be fair? That wouldn't be fair.
No, that wouldn't be fair either. But I mean, I'm sure there's been instances where they have, I'm sure there's lots of Muslims out there that are teachers. So.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it's the same thing. That wouldn't be fair to tell them that they can't because
I don't see that as a distraction, though.
It could be because of the way that America has put, just like how they're saying, Mexicans are illegal and drug dealers and rapists and we commit crimes. Okay, well, they see all Muslims like as terrorists. Mm-hmm. So it could be a distraction to the kids because obviously high school kids are not mature enough to understand, like, just because you see someone like that doesn't mean that they're a terrorist.
When we were in school, I mean, we couldn't even have our freaking hair a crazy color because it was considered a distraction.
Right, but now it's different because now you see girls in there with red hair and tattoos and piercings and crop tops. Like, Have you seen the students
Yeah,
at the high
yeah.
school? Like, that's why I'm like, things, it's different from when me and you were in school. It's different from when our parents were in school. Things are not the same. That's why I'm like, I think when I was in high school, if that were to happen, I could see it. But because we're in a different time, I think that they should have allowed it. Should he have done it a different way? Yes. But I think if they weren't getting complaints from the students and he's doing his job and he's doing a great job at it, allow him to have his job and do what he does, and put stipulations on it, like, you're not allowed to do this, you can't, put some stipulations on it, but allow him to be him, because it's hard to find great teachers out here.
And I get, his mental state, part of it is not being able to be who he is. Maybe that's one of the stipulations. You are required to make sure that you are getting the mental help you need to make sure because with all the hormones and everything that he's taking, help me, myself.
As a woman,
I'm going through, perimenopause, or I'm in perimenopausal, whatever you call it, premenopause.
Yeah.
So my hormones are sometimes all over the place.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get not being there sometimes.
I think the whole situation could have been handled differently. I think he was also cyberbullied by other adults, and that was not okay. Like, you don't have to agree, but you don't have to bully him. And there were some very hateful comments. Like, did you see the comments?
Yeah.
To me, I was like, that's sad. Like, poor him. Like, okay, you don't have to agree.
I was going to say, I don't agree with it 100%. But I would never go on there.
Telling him to go lay in a ditch and die.
No, I would never do that.
That's fucked up.
No,
like, you don't have to agree, but he's still a human being.
My main concern is his mental state, and that's what they should have done.
Mm-hmm.
They should have gone back. Yes, babe, go. They should have made sure he was in the right mental state before getting it to this level.
Right. So. Yeah, that was one big and still going on. They're still talking about it on Facebook, which I think that they should. I think that they should let it go. Now that they've seen that he's resigned and he's no longer there, they're still making memes about him. They're still talking shit about him. I think at this point, let it go. He's not a teacher anymore. He resigned. He can't be a teacher in the state of Texas anymore. So now he's trying to figure out what he's going to do with his life.
I think eventually, leave him alone. I think eventually it'll get to where he can be a teacher. I think it's just this.
If the state changes it, because the state is not allowing him to be a teacher in
Texas. I think it'll change. I think
he would have to go to Cali or something. Like, he would literally have to move out of Texas, which is sad. So, and I think about this, like, what if that was my son? And he was trans, and that was his dream, was to be a teacher. And now, because he's not allowed to live his true self, he's not allowed to live out his dream. That sucks.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's like, I just go back to religion. Like, whatever anybody's religion is, what if they say, well, no, we're in America and you have to be Christian. Anything else, you're not allowed to be here. That's not fair either. We're supposed to be America. We're diverse.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel the way I feel. I feel like he's still human.
I knew we were going to disagree on that. And it's not that we disagree. It's just, bottom line, it should have been handled differently than what it was. I mean, that's my opinion.
I just don't like the way that grown adults were bullying him. Like, have your opinion, say what you want to say, but don't be hateful.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Don't be hateful. Why be hateful? Because you don't agree with what he's doing with his life. Like, leave him alone.
Yeah, I don't encourage bullying at all. I don't go on.
You're grown adults bullying. Like,
I don't even do that on TikTok. Like, I feel like people hide behind social media a lot. Like, they'll go on.
Sure.
They'll go on TikTok talking shit. They'll go on Facebook. They'll go on Instagram. They'll go on any social media, and they'll talk shit. And then what kills me is when they post anonymously, like especially on Facebook. It's like, if you're gonna talk shit, at least post it yourself. Don't post anonymously. Don't be a chicken shit. Stand behind it.
They get called out all the time. Yeah. All the time. It's so funny.
But all right, what else you got, girl?
I'm trying to think what that. Oh, okay. There was this other Oh, the post that I shared on our page. It said, if you don't want kids, why? And I looked at the original post, and then I think someone also shared it in one of the DFW pages, Girl Plug pages. Um, but there was so many different comments of why people don't want kids or why people don't want any more kids. And my question to you is, do you feel like if you are a woman, you should have kids? Like that's your job, is to bear children?
No, not necessarily. There's some women who aren't meant to be mothers. They don't have that maternal yeah. They don't have that maternal instinct.
No,
and why should your body, your choice. Bottom line. If you don't have that maternal instinct, I would rather you not have kids than have a child and put that child's life at risk, or any such thing, or your mental state. Some people aren't meant to have children.
Yeah. So I was one comment, and I replied to her comment. This girl says she doesn't have any kids and she doesn't want any kids because of the way the world is. And she was like, and I know that I wouldn't be able to protect my kids from the evils of this world for the rest of their life.
And that's,
I was like, and I
can see that.
I can respect that. Like, and I don't think just because you're a woman you should bear kids. Like you don't have to have kids just because you're a woman. And I can respect that. And that's what I was like, I respect this comment so much. Like that, I think as a true mother, a real mom, that's one of our biggest fears, is not being able to protect our kids 100% from the evils of this world. And then what if something happens to us?
That's yeah. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. One of my biggest fear is my child being in a situation in some sort of pain, or just, and me not being able to help them. Like that tears my soul apart. Even like when they go to school, like I'm always asking them, like, I want to make sure they're not being bullied. I want to make sure like we just want to protect our kids so much. And you want to get me emotional, my kids, like my kids, I will fight tooth and nail for my kids. I've said this before. There's people that we've talked about this on one of our earlier episodes where they've asked, would you kill for your child? 100%. 100%.
My biggest fear is with Dalen right now. With him, he's such I want everybody to get along, and everybody needs to be friends, and I want to love everybody, and everybody's
got such a good heart.
And I'm just like, somebody's gonna hurt your feelings really bad one day, and I'm not ready for that. He's so emotional. Let me tell you. So the other day, I had a long day and at work, and I was like in and out the house. So I really, after school, like I fed him and then I left. And by the time I came back, he was already in bed, and then woke up, took him to school. So that day, like I really didn't get to spend much time with him. So of course that following day when he got out of school, it was a calm day. I didn't really have anything to do. And he was sitting on the couch, and I just went and I hugged him, and I was like holding him. I was like, I love you. And he's like, I love you too. I was like, I missed you today. Did you miss me? He was like, yeah. I was like, and this is normal. I always do this. I'm like, you miss me a little bit or a lot? He was like, a lot. I was like, okay, baby, I missed you a lot too. He's like, you're making me cry. I was like, oh my God. And I was telling my husband, and he was like, he felt the love when you were holding him. I was like, oh my gosh. It made my eyes water. I was like, okay, get off me. You're going to make me cry because you said you're crying.
Yeah.
But he was like, you're making me cry. I really missed you. I was like, oh my goodness, Dalen, you're so emotional.
Oh. It's so sweet when they're at that age where they have that innocence. It's what it is. Yeah. It's the innocence. But like you said, one day somebody's going to come along and is going to break their heart, hurt them, whether it's a girl or a friend, somebody, and you hate to see it because those little things chip away at you. Yeah. And they make you into the person, the adult you become. The stuff that happens to you as a kid, I believe, helps form you as an adult.
For sure.
And it's so hard to know that your child is going to be hurt in some form or fashion. because that's just the world we live in,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And we try to protect them as much as we can, but we have to let them out into the world eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And the world is such a cruel, cruel place.
I know. What else? I think I've seen comments saying like, "Oh, I have 2 kids and I don't want no more because financially I wouldn't be able to do it." And
and respect to the people who say they can't do it anymore, or they can't, or they don't want kids, because it takes a lot to, because society, I feel like, is like, why don't you want to have kids? Like, why? Like, that's just weird. People, but I don't think it is. Like, if you can admit that you are not one to have kids,
more power to you.
More power to you.
Yeah. No, I respect
it takes
that so much.
lot. It takes a lot of energy out of you.
And then especially the people or the women that they know, like, I don't want kids. And you know how there's moms that are like, oh, I want grandkids. Give me grandkids. When are you going to give me grandkids? And that person is just like, I don't want kids. So them
it's a lot of pressure.
The pressure from their family. And it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, Mom. And it's like, you don't want to push someone to have kids and they know, like, they don't want them. And then God forbid something happened to that kid because you pressured them to go have a kid, you know?
It's funny because my mom for the longest time was like, she wasn't ready to be a grandma. She was like, I'm not ready. Don't make me a grandma. Like, I'm not. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, I'm not ready. Like, I knew I wasn't ready either.
Yeah.
But she kept telling me like, no. Like, I'm not. And then it was like overnight, when are you gonna have kids? I'm like,
didn't you just tell me?
I was like, who are you? Like, what are you talking about? Well, you're in your 30s now. You don't think it's time? Okay,
don't be watching my uterus, Mom.
Yeah, she is like, wait, whose biological clock is ticking here? Mine or yours?
Right.
And
she's
I think it was the right time.
She's like, all right, the older you get, the older I get.
Yeah. And I think when I had Marcelo, it was the best time for both of us.
Yeah. I don't want no more kids. We've already talked about that. I do not want no more kids. If I were to get pregnant,
so
I'm moving in with you.
Come on. You know, it's funny that you bring that up because I saw a post on TikTok the other day where a lady was asking about hysterectomies.
Yeah.
And my shop is like done. It's closed. I had my tubes tied and then I had an endometrial ablation. Those two things, if I was to get pregnant, it'd be a freaking miracle. Miracle.
But there's still a chance.
I mean, there's always a chance unless you have everything completely taken out. Yeah. But this lady was like asking advice on hysterectomy, and I gave my opinion. I was like, I personally would not I don't recommend doing a hysterectomy, even a partial hysterectomy, because it can send you into early menopause. Yep. Mm-hmm. A partial or a full. Yeah. And then and I said, talk to your doctor. I'm not a doctor. Don't take my, I can only speak from my experience. Like the abdominal ablation that I had was a miracle. Like, it's great. And for the men watching, I apologize. This is, not what y'all want to hear, but since because I was having a lot of like heavy bleeding and it was horrible. Like it wasn't just one time a month. It was multiple times a month. And it interferes with your life, especially when it's so heavy. Yeah. And so I talked to my doctor and I was like, do we have to do a hysterectomy? Because I didn't know about the ablation surgery before.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
So I'll tell you. So
it sounds painful.
He goes, it's what we recommend now as opposed to doing a hysterectomy. So we don't send you into menopause. Okay. And I said, okay, well, what is it? Same thing. Basically, they go in and vaginally and they cauterize your uterus. Like, yeah. Okay. They cauterize your uterus so that when it's your time of the month, because during your time of the month, you're shedding the lining. Yeah. Well, because it's cauterized, it doesn't do it as much. He was like, it's either going to eliminate your period altogether, or it'll be really light. He says you won't know until about 4 or 5 months after the procedure what it's going to be like. Mm-hmm. And he goes, but it prevents you from going into early menopause. You still have your hormones. Your body still having a
Functioning.
period, it's still doing what it's supposed to, but your uterus can't shed like it normally does.
Right. You know what? Sorry, thinking about that. So what happens to our bodies when our uterus is not shedding like it's supposed to?
Well, because it's cauterized.
Well, no, but like in like right
and
now.
just in general.
Yeah, because I have the IUD and I don't get a period anymore.
Oh, I don't
So
know
like, what
about that.
happens? Like, does it build up?
I don't know.
What the fuck happens?
That's a good question. I'm not a doctor. I won't be able to answer that.
I'm like, I wonder what happens when it doesn't shed. Like,
Because I couldn't do the IUD.
Is something building up or like
The IUD killed me? Hell no. But now my periods are like super light. Like I know when I'm on my period, but it's super light.
Yeah.
Super light. And I 100%, and the recovery time is a lot faster than a hysterectomy. The procedure, because they go vaginally, like it's just.
Is it a day procedure, like in and out?
Yep. Yep. It was like a 45-minute procedure. I had to be put under, obviously, but I was fine. Like I was up and about. Like it was no big. It was a lot faster recovery. So that was my experience. So going back to the post, I put that, and then this lady commented on mine. That's not true. You don't go into menopause, and she just like came at me wrong. Again,
that's a known fact though.
Yeah, and so she just came at me wrong, and I was like, look, I was just giving her my opinion. Bottom line is she needs to talk to her physician.
Yeah.
To see what's best for her.
Yeah.
You know, don't like just because you had a part.
People on the internet irritate me.
Yeah, I'm just like, don't come at me. I was just giving my personal experience, my opinion.
But I feel like that's a known fact. Like I know that. Like before you even said anything, like everybody knows that that's a possibility. It's not guaranteed, but it's a possibility that could happen. Like you're not guaranteed. Like, oh, this is what's going to happen. It's going to shoot you into menopause. Like it's a possibility. It could. Yeah. Like people irritate me. That's why I don't like people. Exactly. All right. Last thing that was on my list to talk about. And this is the local news about the teen getting stabbed in Frisco at the track meet.
Yes. What about it?
So for what are your feelings?
So those of you that don't know,
and also, I did my own hair. I attempted an ombre look.
It's getting
dark into the red into the all.
Not her swirling and going off on her hair.
Sorry, because I was like, oh yeah, I was going to tell you. And
I noticed.
I was like,
do you like it?
Yes, but no, but yes. I mean, yeah, it did what I wanted it to do.
Is it too dark? Is that what you don't like?
This is too dark. The end is too dark.
But I
wanted it a brighter red. I mean, I like this color. Mm-hmm. It's a cute color. I just want a little bit brighter.
Oh, it'll lighten up.
So,
and then you can put a brighter, more vibrant red.
I was like, when I was doing that, I was like, we're going to see if it comes out. And if it's not, then I'm just going to make it all dark in one color. I sent it to Brittany. I was like, I told her, I was like, I got the colors to do my hair, to do the ombre look. Wish me luck. I said, because if I fuck it up, I'm coming to you to fix it. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I won't scroll no more.
What is this? This is different.
What is that?
I had to like adjust it it wasn't like the puzzle one. It was like adjusting the dog to, anyways. Okay. So Frisco, recently there was a track meet, and there was a white teen boy and a black teen boy that got into some sort of confrontation, and the black child stabbed the white child, and the white child passed.
Yes.
So that was what happened.
Did you look into it? Did you read it?
I've seen all kinds of stuff about it.
So yes. I started reading. Okay, so what you said is what I generally heard the first time, right? Okay, and then of course there was updates and not police reports, but police updates.
There's all kinds. Now, I don't think anybody has facts, because there's all kinds of different stories going around about what actually took place. But what they're saying is that Carmelo Anthony and Austin is the white boy, Carmelo is the black teen, and they said that Carmelo was in Austin's tent, their team
under
tent.
Their team's tent.
And Austin told Carmelo, "Hey, you can't sit here. This is our team tent." That's where the confrontation started.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo pulled out a knife and during the altercation and stabbed Austin. Now, one story I heard was that it wasn't a team tent and that he could sit wherever he wanted, and that Austin came up to him, bullying him and sucker punched him.
Did you see the tents for both teams?
I did.
They were
So-
like
so
right next to. It's not like on opposite sides of the field.
Mhm.
They were like really close. So
But they said that he was sitting under the tent.
their tent. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it was far enough for him to have to walk and go
Yeah.
under their tent. But my thing is how was he starting any trouble? Like, was he? I mean, according to what they're saying, he wasn't starting any trouble. He was there talking, and then that the white boy that passed away, he had a twin brother,
Mhm.
and that they were known for being bullies at the school. This is alleged, you guys. This is like she said. There's so many different stories going around, but this is what they're saying, that they were known for being bullies at the school. They did tell him to get out from under the tent. He didn't want to, and they were basically telling him like, "We're gonna get you out the tent," or something, and they were antagonizing him. Now, should he have stabbed that boy? No, because why are you bringing a knife to a track meet?
And see, that's where he is gonna have a problem,
Right,
because he's claiming self-defense.
right. Which I can see self-defense.
But
But-
this is where he's gonna have a problem, because he brought a weapon
Right.
onto school property
Mm-hmm.
where he wasn't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
He is gonna have a hard time he's gonna have a hard time claiming self-defense, because they're gonna say it's premeditation
Mm-hmm.
because you brought a weapon onto school property. Now, why it even okay, I understand if you got into an altercation, they were bullying you. This is maybe my old school thinking. Why bring a weapon into it?
Yeah.
Why can't we just, you want to duke it out? Let's duke it out. Like, let's throw hands.
That's how I feel.
Why bring a weapon into it?
I
And
feel
that's
like-
where he messed up.
He's gonna have to get a
That's-
good lawyer.
That's where he's gonna have a problem not being charged with
But
murder.
according to the news, that there was witnesses backing Carmelo's statement of how things happened. So there are witnesses saying it did happen like that. That they started it. That both of the brothers started it.
And I could see that too.
Mhm.
I could see, kids are kids.
Right.
They're gonna talk shit.
And to me, I'm
But-
like, you should have just whooped his ass.
Yeah.
Just whoop his ass. You're not gonna be a bully no more because I'm gonna whoop your ass and you ain't gonna be bullying me. Because what were you thinking? I don't want to get in a fight because I think he was he played football. I think.
Yeah,
I think
they
he
were
was
both
a star player on football.
They were both star football players, and they were both on the track. Like, they're both athletes.
Yeah.
They're both good grades.
So what are you thinking? I'm gonna
Good
fight
athletes.
and be suspended from a game. Well, now you done killed him, and now you ain't ever playing again. It's like, come on now, weigh your options. Like,
And it's crazy how
it's sad that the kid
in the blink
died.
of an eye, your whole life changes.
Yeah, especially at that young of an age. Like,
But he made the decision to take a knife to school. He made the decision to pull the knife out of his bag. It's not like he had it on him. He had to physically pull it out of his bag in order to use it. So
what do you think? Just based off of what we've seen on the news and whatever, I'm not going to necessarily say facts because we don't know if they're facts.
yeah. Mm-mm.
But what we've read or heard, the information that we have,
Mhm.
what do you think is going to happen?
I think he's going to be charged with murder, and I think he's going to do some time. Like, I don't think he's going to get away with the self-defense case. Like,
I think he has a chance. He has a chance. It's a 50-50 chance. To me, I think it's a 50-50 chance. Only because he has witnesses backing what he's saying. But like you said, bringing the knife on school
Mhm.
property is where he's going to hurt
if
you.
it had happened somewhere else outside of school property, if it had happened at a movie theater,
Mhm.
if it had happened at a park, if it had happened anywhere else besides school property, he probably could have gotten away with the self-defense.
Yeah. I would be like,
But
he's going to get away. But this is like...
Being that it was a school event, school property,
Mhm.
and weapons are 100%
Yeah.
not tolerated, you knew what you had in your bag. You knew that you had a one up because you have a weapon.
Right.
You
Yep.
know, so that the self-defense part is going to be almost
Yeah,
like
it's gonna be hard. He's gonna have to get a really, really good lawyer. Is he gonna get charged? Yes. Is he gonna get time? Yes, for sure. But I think he does have a chance. But we'll see what happens. I think it's a sad situation all the way around, though.
I mean, 2 families are ruined for the rest of their lives either way.
Yeah. Yep.
I think
And
it's really sad.
like, and most people, well, a lot of people. Let me just say, a lot of people judge kids that get in trouble, right? And they're like, blame it on the parents. Why are you not keeping your kids busy instead of in the streets fighting?
I mean, they were busy though. They were.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because a lot of people are like, well, if your kids were busy with sports, they wouldn't be getting in trouble. But look, these are 2-star players that played multiple sports that were still getting into some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for everybody that sits there and talks shit about kids that are getting in fights and in trouble because they're not occupied enough or they're not busy enough, it's like that I mean, my kids were in sports from they were 4 till middle school, because then they started fighting. But even in middle school, my son was in football, and it's like, we as parents can only do so much, right? I can only get on to you, encourage you, and all this other stuff. But then how it goes back to plenty of other conversations we've had. They get influenced from friends. Like, they spend all this time at school around these people that they spend more time there than at home. So when people are like, oh, it starts at home, it does. Yeah. It does start at home, instilling good morals and all that, but at the end of the day, we gotta let them out into the world. Yeah, it's like it's a sad situation.
It's scary. I hope the best for both families, and I hope that somehow it's I don't know what kind of good can come out of it, but I mean, hopefully both families get the justice that they seek. I don't know. I don't know,
because he has a twin brother, that he doesn't seek some type of retaliation.
I don't think he will. But it's just an all-around sad situation. Like I said, 2 families are totally ruined now for the rest of their lives. I mean, in some form of fashion. I mean, one family lost a son. The other families lost a son as well, just in a different way.
Yep.
But it's sad. It's sad. But
okay.
That was
all on my list.
That was all on your list? Well,
I was like, you better not call in on me today. We're gonna do this over FaceTime. Whatever. We're gonna make it work.
Okay, so we will have an episode next Sunday, but probably not Easter Sunday.
Oh shit, I forgot all about Easter coming up. Okay.
This girl.
I mean, I got a lot going on.
You and me both, sister. You and me both.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and I need to make a date to go to axe throwing.
Okay.
Is what I've gotten from this conversation.
Okay.
And have some drinks and go axe throwing. That'll be fun.
I'm down.
All right. All right. So we will be back next Sunday. Not sure what we're going to talk about.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You know, we always figure it out. So we'll figure it out, and we'll be here next Sunday, but not Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
So you guys have a good week.
Happy Sunday.
We'll see y'all in a week.
Bye.